Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're taking a trip to the dark side. We are going full discard, mono black discard from Bloomburrow. And, we've been playing it for not even a week now. And I think the most obnoxious deck is mono black discard. And that's what we're playing. So if that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the Chief Executive Assistant to the Viceroy of Darkness, Dr. Yukon Sucket. Yes, thank you. Filmed before a live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Sucket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from, say it with me, secret underground headquarters. Whenever I ask you guys to say it with me, I always try to say underscore. No, underground headquarters. There we go. And today we're playing with a TayMalice deck. TayMalice. And it's called Rotten Discard. What is it? It's a Bloomburrow discard deck. And my God, they have been obnoxious. But that's what we're playing. So why are we playing it if we hate it so much? Because I haven't played it yet. And I want to learn how to play against it. So we're going to play it today, and if you decide to play with this deck, maybe you'll learn a little something too. Because after playing it, I would think, yeah, it's not quite as obnoxious. Well, it is pretty freaking obnoxious. But still, it's got its weaknesses, and knowing where to hit it, knowing what to go after, that is exactly what you need to do. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in the deck. We'll talk a little bit about how the deck should work, and then we'll go out and we'll crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got today? We got creature kill, discard, and punishing people for not having enough cards in their hand, and then you get to draw cards if your opponent doesn't have very much cards in their hand. And this works great in multiplayer as well, even better in multiplayer. Creature kill. This is a discard. I'm going to say it that way, discard. There's a lot more to that, but discard. This puts out, let's see, attacks, player most like, you draw a card. So this can potentially put out a 1/1 vampire creature token. He's got death touch, and potentially you could draw a card and lose a life. So he does a little bit of card draw for you. Liliana is creature kill and discard. And if you get her up to the -6, she does some awesome cool stuff. I haven't seen that in a long time. Hostile Investigator forces a discard. Whenever one or more players discard, you investigate, meaning you get a token. Sheoldred will punish people every time they draw a card. You will gain life every time you draw a card. And Rottenmouth Viper. This guy is new. He's got like a paragraph of stuff here. I'm going to read it super quick to you. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may sacrifice any number of non-land permanents. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each permanent sacrificed this way. So basically, you get to sacrifice permanents, non-land permanents, to make him cheaper to put out. He's a 6/6. That means you can get him out for super cheap. Whenever Rottenmouth enters or attacks, put a blight counter on it. Or attacks, you put a blight counter. He gets more every time he attacks. Nuts. Then for each blight counter on it, each opponent loses 4 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. So they have to choose between life, permanents, or discarding for each blight counter on him, and he gets bigger every time he attacks. Nuts. All right. You'll find out that I film all my games before I read all this stuff. I don't know what this thing. When I go to play this guy, I have no idea what he does. This guy is crazy pants. All right, so there we go. We got this card, which I don't know, it does a bunch of stuff and a bunch of basic lands. All right, so what are we doing with this thing? We're going to control the board by killing some creatures. And we're also going to control his hand by just ripping apart their hands. So they can barely put anything out. If they do draw some stuff, Sheoldred will punish them. And the Rottenmouth Viper will just go to town on them. You want to sacrifice some stuff you got out? Hopefully not Bandit's Talent, but Hopeless Nightmare will do that for you. We put out some tokens we want to do. Maybe we can get this thing out cheaper too. That's all good. This guy is going to be a maniac if you get him out. Hopefully they won't be able to kill him. But between Sheoldred and the Bandit and the Rottenmouth, people have very little they can stand against. All right, so that's it. Now, before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers, and we'll talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Blackwing Sheoldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentation of the women. All right, we're playing against PepsiDriver. Keep. All right, we got something to do for 1, and then 2s, 3s, and 4s. Give it up, yo. Looks like you're playing mono black as well. Where's your discardy coming from? Yeah. So we got to start leveling these things up. All right, we got to kill ourselves a Sheoldred. All right, 2. That's got to be the other guy, right? All right, there we go. Ooh, he wants to suffer. All right, there you go. All right, I'll pick it off. It's fine. Apparently he's got some creature kill. Yikes. That's not great. I'm down to 4. You can sack your life more, huh? I mean, I think I've lost. I can't seem to do anything about it. Let's see if we can draw something good. No, that's it. I mean, did I just win? Yeah! I just won. Unless you can kill... No, you can't even kill his freebooter, can he? This is a good game. One way or the other, this game's over. Da da da! There you go. Woo! Victory! Alright, we were playing against Lloyd. Or is that pronounced Yoid? Keep. Force a discard. Alright, all I got is creature kill and something at a 5. What do you do? Alright, this is good. Additional cost of spelling sacrifice. Let's go see what he's got in his hand. Alright, so if he decides to seal from existence, we got more where that comes from. That's good. Alright, more discard. Additional dudes. Ooh, good for you. Get rid of that other card. Alright, I'm going to play a little defense here. Alright, let's pop this guy up. Let's punish him for not having any cards in his hand. We'll kill this guy off. Put out another Preacher. Now let's put out Rottenmouth. That's cool. What am I doing here? I got to do math. As an additional cost to the spell, you may sacrifice any number of non-land permanents. This spell, when Rottenmouth ends battlefield, put a blight counter. For each blight counter on it, or let it sacrifice a non-land permanents. Alright, fine. Oh, I need more mana than that. Okay, next turn. Alright, Jumper! That guy's not going to do me any good. Why not? Breach blight counter. He doesn't have any cards to discard. He's got to give things up. Nice. So they can't go after artifact creatures with it. Nope, not enough mana for that. Let's put this guy out. Wait, gotta wait till next turn. Alright, we're cool. Ice to 2 life, he's gotta gain life. You're very strong. All right, and we win. Well, that was difficult to understand what was going on. All right, we're playing against Serra. Lower cases, can't afford the capitalization at all. Everything's too expensive. I'm going to mulligan this one, and we'll go keep it. And let's get rid of one cut down. I don't understand what these are in here for. All right, number 2. Got a guy for you kill? Whatever, man. Hope I could pick up a 4th mana. That'd be great. All right. We'll go after his hand. We'll activate that up. Go full bandit on him. So this will draw us extra cards. We get 4 mana. Very helpful if we got Sheoldred. There we go. All right, you know I got Sheoldred number 2. Yeah, you didn't have anything to get rid of that time. All right, we just got to get this guy out of cards. Then we can start drawing cards like crazy, potentially. He's going for Crazy Town, isn't he? Scorched Earth Control. All right, we can do this. All right, that kind of sucks. Let's just do this. Draw the additional cards. Cool. All right, let's just wait to see. I can go kill something he decides to put out. He hasn't put out a creature yet. He seems like he wants to put out creatures. The whole Caretaker's talent seems to be creature related. What's that, skeleton hand? You got something you want to teach me about? Ooh, look at that. Oh, 2 lands in a row. What a great time for that to be there. That was complete sarcasm, by the way. He's got to keep 2 in his hand. All right, this is going to hurt that big time. And I should be able to tune this guy up to totally punish him. All right, he's down to 1. I think I got it, man. Oh, he's not. He has to keep cards in his hand is what he's got to keep. He's got 2 or fewer, he loses, dude. Alright, there's some guys, whatever. Alright, you lose now. Boom, boom. Jesus. Touchdown. Lava Bears. Rank up. Alright, we're playing against YungGlizzy. YungGlizzy. Keep. What are we doing here? I hate giving up on pure Sheoldred. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully we can get that 4th mana along the way. Alright, 2. We got the 4th mana. Let's just see if we can bait this guy into throwing away some additional cards here. Alright, 3. Let's Bandit. Soften him up. He's only got to get rid of 1 card as long as it's a non-land. And we'll prep that for... I like level number 2 over pretty much everything else. I know you're seriously disappointed by that. You gotta hope you got some more dudes coming up. Alright, Sheoldred. It's the Black Queen Sheoldred. Welcome to the battlefield. Alright, you should be taking... Alright, what does that say? Beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card. Each upkeep, the player has 1 or fewer cards in his hand. Alright, we got to get him out of cards. I'm not afraid of losing Sheoldred in this situation. He should be afraid of losing a creature. Gone. Let's put these in the different order. That's good. No attacks. We'll just let the bandit's talent do what needs to be done here. Between the two of them, that's 4. And he wants to kill. He can shoot for 3. He thinks he's being tricksy. All right, you're down to 6. I'm down to 9. I'm not doing that much better, really. Except your dudes are gigantic wussies. There's 4, which means all I have to do is survive to your next turn, and then you're dead. That's it. Game over, man. Victory! All right, we were playing against that one guy. I'll let the fox live. Hey there, Cubert. You're looking good. Alright, 2. Let's go after his hand a little bit. Ooh. Maybe he's playing a little recursion action there. Alright, 3. Let's force the discard. Maybe Fountainport is in here just because it gives you something you feel good about discarding yourself. All right, we're going to start doing 4 points a turn here pretty soon. All right, discard it. There we go. I don't need mana. Let's just push that one off. All right, I've got a little bit of creature kill. That's fine. I haven't played Liliana this way in such a long time. What are you keeping? Oh, ho, ho, ho. All right, level 3. You're down to 2. There's no way you can survive the next round. And we win! Victory! Alright, so here we are with Rotten Discard. And I gotta say, the discard decks that came out with Bloomburrow are horrible, horrible, mean jerks. And this is definitely one of them. Just is so incredibly mean. If I was a mono blue player, I'd be super pissed just because I wouldn't, I wanted to play my cards and this thing would be I'd have to counter them constantly. I don't know, man. I don't know. I can tell you that when I was playing against this today, I just would give up almost immediately once they tried playing their second card against me. I just didn't need that in my life. I'd move on. So anyways, eventually I ended up on this particular deck. This one was put out by TayMalice, and I thought, yeah, we're going to play a TayMalice deck. We're going to see how it works and how it feels to play it. It turns out it's a guilty pleasure. This is going to probably be the kind of deck I play when I can't find anything else to play, and I just need to be mean to people because this is a mean, horrible deck. All right, so let's just take a look. Who is the MVP? Who is the most valuable player? You know what it was? It was Bandit's Talent. That card was incredibly great. Reason why is because, like it says, they have to discard 2 cards. Like, ooh, but then it turns out it's like as long as they're not discarding a land, right? So they just got to do a non-land, and it's only a single card. I mean, it just lets you get out some of the meat, not the fat, right? That's cool. But then you get to turn it to where they lose 2 life at the beginning of every turn. It's an enchantment. They have a harder time getting rid of it. I mean, Sheoldred does the same thing. It's pretty much guaranteed with Sheoldred because they have to draw a card. This one, they have to have, 1 or fewer cards in their hand. The rest of your stuff is sitting there just trying to keep them from having a lot of cards going on. So it doesn't seem too hard to do it. And then I appreciate that each opponent only has 1 or fewer cards in their hand. You get to draw an additional card. Great. Now I'm going to say the value seems strong with Bandit's Talent. I think this card works out great with it. I'm going to give it to Bandit's Talent. I think you're the MVP. The interesting card I'm going to say here is honorable mention is the Rottenmouth Viper. I'm still not sure how to play this card. There's too many words on here. I mean, whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you put a blight counter on it. Well, I don't know. There's lots of stuff on here. And then they lose 4 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. So it's all you get to do is sacrifice your own permanents to make this thing cheaper to put out. I guess that's the way it works. But after that, you get 1 blight counter on it. I can tell you, like, proliferating on this guy would be nuts. So yeah, playing Rottenmouth Viper with some proliferation would be Insanosaurus Rex. All right, that's going to be that's a future thing. I'm sure that we will see decks that do that kind of stuff. Then again, he can just be shot. But still, if you can keep him out while he's got more blight counters on him, that would be fantastic. All right, so I'm going to give MVP to Bandit's Talent. Congratulations, you're going to Disneyland. Let's see, was this deck competitive? I took it out on the ladder. I was playing in the gold. It took me from gold 4 to gold 3, absolutely. If I would have played it maybe 1 or 2 more times, I would have made it to gold 2. Yeah, this is definitely a ranking deck. It is something you can go out there and rank with. It is very competitive. I got 100% with it, 100%. All right, let's see. What's next here? Was this deck fun? Yeah. If you're playing it, this is a fun deck because you're just going after people's hands like crazy. The hand hate is so strong. I got to say, being on the flip side, it is a painful deck to be playing against. You got your cards in your account, you get your plan together. They won't let you play because you have to throw away all your cards constantly. Man, it sucks. But man, when you're playing this deck, I mean, you got turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, all of it is good. And you're doing a lot of hand hate in that. We could probably do more if we wanted to, but there's a point of diminishing returns with hand hate. But what I do like is that once you get them pinned down, you got Bandit's Talent, which is really punishing them for not having cards in their hand. The one card I couldn't stand was Fountainport, and I'm trying to figure out what the point of it was. I mean, I think it's like, yeah, I can sacrifice a token and draw a card. There was a number of opportunities to create tokens between Preacher and Hostile Investigator. Who else then? I guess this guy can create a token. So, and you could draw a card, but it's like, I can make a fish. I don't know. This kind of I felt was getting in my way a little bit. It was kind of weird. Did I really need to have a lot of black? Not really. But still, I kind of felt like it was holding me back a little bit. This was the first card I would choose to discard when I was forcing myself to discard stuff. This was the one that did not spark joy. Let's put it that way. Everything else, yeah, this deck was great. It was a fun deck to play. You felt like you had a lot of control. That's what I could say. All right, let's just see. Was this deck interesting? Yes. I mean, the reason why it was interesting to me was because we were playing with a bunch of new cards from Bloomburrow. What I liked was I thought that Bandit's talent was incredibly cool. I wasn't willing to gift people a card to do this one. I just wasn't really willing to do that. But maybe I should. I thought Rottenmouth was an interesting card. I still am trying to figure out what to do with this guy. He's way better than my brain can give him credit for at the moment. Yeah, he was good. I mean, it's a discard deck. A lot of people are going to hate it. They hate discard. And like I say, I usually like a good discard deck. I don't mind playing against them. Yet this one, I thought, like, when I've seen, basically, as soon as they put Bandit's talent on me, I get super pissed and usually just give up. So, yeah, this one, maybe now that I've played it, I'll be a little more chill about playing against it. It's got its limits, but still, Hopeless Nightmare, Bandit's talent, and then Liliana. My God, people, well, how can you hold up against that kind of thing? It's just rough, but you got to know it. You got to play it. All right, let's just add this thing up. Was this deck competitive? Absolutely. Was it good? Was it fun to play? Yes. Was it interesting? Yeah, it was. All right, so I have to do it. I'm going to give this deck an A+. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I would highly recommend you pick one up should you have the means. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.